Welcome everyone. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the behavior of what we call life cycle ignore change meta argument in Terraform. Okay, this is typically used when you have your existing infrastructure under Terraform management, but one way or the other, this infrastructure which you have deployed, there has been a change outside of Terraform management. Typically, especially when you are working with databases, and let's say AWS is managing the minor version upgrade of your engine. Okay, with that, there will be constant change in the minor version upgrade all the time. So if you have set up your version in your code, okay, you would like to ignore the changes that has happened outside Terraform. Another typical example is like you have your use case whereby, let's say, you've made a change to your tag. I'm going to give you an example for now for you to see the difference. So you made a changes outside Terraform, but you don't want it to be detected within your Terraform code. To that end, you leverage on what we call lifecycle ignore rules. Let me show you an example quickly. You see this tag that has been provisioned and is in the state. Okay, so this is what we know. This is what is in the console. I'll show you again. There have been a change in the engine version. I'll also show you the drift. We're going to suppress the drift and allow Terraform to ignore the changes. We are happy with it. Don't go and destroy it. Don't go and modify any changes within the console. Right. So let me show you quickly. Here, as you can see the tag. Yeah. So let's make a change to it. Okay. For example, let's change this to dev. Okay, and then save. Okay. Right. Again, like I said, the engine version 2, there will be a drift. Right. Okay. So configuration engine is different from what we have in the code. So go back to the console here. So we've made a change. So that the tag has been changed. So let's see what Terraform is going to do. So enter for the plan. Okay. Let's see how it's going to behave. Give it a minute or so. Right. So can you see straight away the tag? Okay. The tag, we change it to dev, is going to revert it back to what it knows in the code here. So it's going to change this dev to MySQL database, which we have in here. Again, the version, can you see, is just going to change it, okay, from this version to that. We want to suppress this. We are happy with the change. We don't want Terraform to make any changes to the real infrastructure we have in the console. So to that end, we will leverage on this meta argument called lifecycle meta argument, and it's called the ignore change. So we will say lifecycle, okay, so life cycle meta argument, that's the one I want. And then now I will say is ignore. Okay, ignore the change. And I'm going to list what changes I want it to ignore. First of all, I want it to ignore, let's say, the tag. Can you please ignore all the tags? Yeah, I can just literally put it here. All right, I can paste it in here. Okay. If I want a different change to be ignored, like the engine version, okay, again, I can grab it. Okay, and then put it in the list. So the square denote this is a list. So I can paste it here. Okay, so literally take all of them back. Please ignore these changes. Okay, so let's see the difference. So now I'm just gonna run. Let me clear the screen. So Control L. Okay, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say Terraform and then plan again. Right, and then I'm gonna enter on this. Okay, let's see the behavior. Right, so for now Terraform is going through the state, checking the state, comparing it to the real infrastructure, and can you see there's no change? Okay, even though what we have here, the tag, is different from the one in the console here. Okay, so you allow Terraform to ignore this change, and you know this changes is probably get normally changed by a third party tool or something like that. Typical example is the version. So literally we will ignore the version. Okay, so Terraform will ignore any changes that AWS will make to the minor version. Okay, so I hope this helped. um we will continue to update you on any changes, or we will share new things that we think it might help you. Okay, this is quite handy going forward. Happy learning. See you in our next video. Bye bye.